So even if that means that she would possibly suffer the death sentence?
Yes. Even if that means that she would suffer the death sentence, let her die, because she's doing a wrong thing. I'm so disappointed that such a kind of person can even be called my daughter.
The night after the conference, I went to a local bar in Kampala. The owners asked that we not identify it. Pepe, Gerald, and Long Johns were all there, along with friends.
Are there many bars like this in Kampala?
No. I think this is the most comfortable place where the people can come and really feel okay about it. Now, of course, there are lots of, there are some instances when they are beaten up.
Here?
Yeah.
So there have been cases where people have been beaten up here too?
Several cases. But
So even in this place that you guys say is gay-friendly, people have been beaten up?
It is gay-friendly, but it's not a gay bar.
Still, at least for one night a week, this place provides some refuge, as the fate of Uganda's gay community hangs in the balance.
Uganda is now the hottest news item around the world.
Surely we can agree that it is unconscionable to target gays and lesbians for who they are, whether it's here in the United States or most recently in Uganda.
We want to ask Barack Obama, is this what he wants to bring to Africa? To eat the poo-poo of our children?
Amazing. You just stand on the corner here and almost every other car belongs to an NGO. About a third of the country's domestic income relies on foreign aid. It's hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars a year that comes from foreign countries. There goes another one.
Uganda is heavily dependent on foreign aid, and the greatest pressure on the country's leaders to kill the controversial anti-gay bill is coming from the outside. The proposed legislation has been widely condemned by the international community, with the issue reaching the highest offices of the United States government.
The Anti-Homosexuality Act of 2009 is an extreme and hateful attempt to make people criminals not because of anything they do, but because of who they are and who they love.
Nearly a year after the March 2009 conference in Uganda, the U.S. House of Representatives called a special hearing on Uganda's anti-gay bill. Ugandan human rights activist Julius Kagwa was among those who testified.
Religious leaders have threatened to hunt homosexuals if the government does not pass the bill quickly. The bill has increased fear among all of us, especially sexual minorities, and among everyone who believes in respect for diversity in Uganda.
Thank you.
A week later, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton addressed the bill directly at the annual National Prayer Breakfast in D.C.
And we are standing up for gays and lesbians who deserve to be treated as full human beings. And we are also making it clear to countries and leaders that these are priorities of the United States.
Even President Barack Obama weighed in.
We may disagree about gay marriage, but surely we can agree that it is unconscionable to target gays and lesbians for who they are, whether it's here in the United States or most recently in Uganda.
For Uganda's president, Yoweri Museveni, the anti-homosexuality bill has become a foreign policy nightmare.
The other day when I was here, Mrs. Clinton rang me. What was she talking about? Gays.
Fearing the country's president would cave to international pressure, backers of the legislation redoubled their efforts and targeted a deadline for passage of the bill, Easter Sunday. 1 month before that deadline, at one of Kampala's most popular megachurches, the bill's most prominent proponents gathered to rally support for their cause.
Right now, Uganda as a nation is under pressure. Uganda is now the hottest news item around the world because of the draft anti-homosexuality bill.
The rally was broadcast live on one of Uganda's top Christian radio stations. And the speakers, including David Bahati, the bill's author, took on their critics from abroad.
It is surely inhuman to subject the people of Uganda to a choice between aid or anal sex. We are not going to accept that.
But Pastor Sempa was the headliner. As he had at the press conference, Sempa did in church. In front of a large congregation, he showed the gay porn.
Now, they start off by touching each other's genitals and smelling each other. Then this one smears the poo-poo all over the other person's face. Now,
If, as he suggested, the American evangelicals were backing down, Sempa was doing anything but.
as if that is not enough, he puts the hand deeper.
The pastor, who in the past has himself benefited from his many international allegiances, was as defiant as ever.
As Africans, we want to ask Barack Obama to explain to us, is this what he wants to bring to Africa as a human right to eat the poo-poo of our children?
The rally ended with Sempa and other religious leaders gathering around David Bahati and asking those present, as well as those listening over the airwaves, to pray for him and the passing of his anti-gay legislation.
We are going to pray for Honorable Bahati and all the members of Parliament. Deliver us from evil.
Deliver us.
Deliver us from evil. Deliver your servant Bahati from evil. Provide for him, Lord.
Yes,
For
Lord.
thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory. Now,
In Uganda, church and state have become virtually inseparable.
David, you are anointed to slay the Goliath of Sodom.
Yes.
And Bahati is clear that religion was a guiding force in authoring the bill.
This is a defining piece of legislation in our country, and we think that God is using this small bill to shake the foundations of sin around the world.
I have good news for you. The people you sent to Kampala to represent you will pass this bill. This bill will be passed.
And also we think that God may be using this country, Uganda, to provide leadership in the area of moral issues where actually the world needs it most.
With or without Bahati's bill, Ugandans vow to fight homosexuality.
You caught in homosexual, you hanged. But we have not caught one as yet. That is the only good thing.
And we find out just how much influence American evangelicals had on the bill.
What is the lesser of two evils here? To allow the American and the European gay activists to continue to do to that country what they've done here, or to have a law that may be overly harsh in some regards.
Easter Sunday came and went in Uganda, without passage of the anti-gay legislation. Despite the best efforts of its proponents, the bill continues to languish in Parliament. Its fate now uncertain after indications that pressure from the West succeeded in slowing its momentum. But a conversation with this group of students reveals just how effective Pastor Sempa and his campaign have been.
So would you put your hands up who supports the bill?
2 hands or 1 hand?
2 hands or 1 hand, yes. So everybody here supports the bill.
Yeah. Homosexual is not a debate. We have rejected it totally. You caught in homosexual, you hanged. But we have not caught one as yet. That is the only good thing.
It is very unnatural, very ungodly. I would never think of doing such a thing because it is inhuman. It is inhuman in the real sense.
Despite denials from those religious leaders and politicians we spoke with, including the bill's author, David Bahati, many in Uganda's gay community still believe the anti-gay legislation and the heated climate in the country can be traced back to the American evangelicals who came to Uganda for that controversial conference in the spring of 2009.